When the clock is ticking and you have only 15 minutes to prepare, securing clean water must be your top priority. The human body can survive weeks without food, but only a few days without water. In a disaster, water sources are often the first thing compromised. Power outages, infrastructure damage, or contamination can leave you without access to safe drinking water in a matter of hours. That's why the very first thing you should reach for is any bottled water you have in your home. Grab full jugs, sealed water bottles, or even fill any clean containers you can find. Pots, pitchers, buckets before the taps go dry. Beyond grabbing stored water, you need a plan for ongoing hydration. This is where portable water filtration becomes crucial. A compact, high-quality water filter like a Life Straw or Sawyer Mini can turn questionable sources, like creeks, rivers, or even puddles, into drinkable water. If you have water purification tablets, grab those too. They take up almost no space and could mean the difference between sickness and survival. Don't forget the water bladder from your hiking gear or any unused canteens. Every drop counts. In that critical 15-minute window, also consider filling your bathtub with water. There are emergency products like a water B.O.B. that you can unroll into a tub and fill with up to 100 gallons of clean water. Even if you don't have one, just sealing your tub with a stopper and filling it can provide extra water for hygiene and sanitation. Many people focus on food first, but the truth is you'll feel hunger long before you're actually in danger from lack of calories. Water is different, it's non-negotiable, and you need it every single day. It's also one of the hardest things to find safely once the system breaks down. When everything else is falling apart, clean water gives you clarity, strength, and the ability to keep moving. So if you have only a few minutes and can only grab a few things, make sure water and a way to purify it are first on the list. Don't underestimate its power. Without water, survival isn't just harder. It becomes impossible. Once you've secured water, the next most critical item to grab in a 15-minute emergency prep window is food. Specifically shelf-stable, ready-to-eat food that requires no cooking or refrigeration. In a disaster, access to grocery stores disappears almost instantly. And if the power goes out, so does your fridge. That's why you want to prioritize items that are compact, calorie-dense, and can last for weeks or even months. Start with what's already in your pantry. Canned goods like beans, chili, soups, and vegetables are gold in a crisis. They have long shelf lives and often contain liquid that helps with hydration. Just make sure you also grab a manual can opener, one of the most forgotten but essential tools when the grid is down. Look for peanut butter, granola bars, trail mix, jerky, dried fruit, and instant oatmeal packets. These are high-energy, low-prep foods that can fuel your body under stress. Next, consider any freeze-dried meals or MREs, meals ready to eat, you may have stored. These are specifically designed for emergency use and can last up to 25 years. If you have a bug-out bag or emergency food kit, now is the time to grab it. Even protein powders or meal replacement shakes can help stretch your supplies if food becomes scarce. Don't forget baby food or dietary specific items if you or someone in your family has medical or nutritional needs. If you have a pet, grab a bag or cans of pet food too. They're part of your survival crew. Another key strategy is to take food in containers that are easy to carry and won't easily spill or spoil. Ziploc bags, plastic containers, or even old coffee cans can help you transport your emergency rations safely. In a true emergency, food isn't just nourishment, it's morale. Having something to eat, even something simple, keeps your energy up and your mind focused. The body under stress burns more calories, and without proper fuel, your ability to think clearly, move efficiently, and stay calm starts to fade. In 15 minutes, food may seem like a luxury, but it's actually your second line of defense against the chaos outside. After securing water and food, your next immediate priority should be clothing and protective gear. Most people overlook this in a panic, but if you only have 15 minutes, what you wear and pack can make the difference between staying alive and succumbing to exposure. Emergencies rarely happen in perfect weather. Whether it's a snowstorm, flood, wildfire, or blackout, you'll need to be dressed not just for comfort, but for survival. Start by grabbing sturdy, weather-appropriate clothing. Think in layers: a moisture-wicking base layer to keep sweat away, an insulating middle layer like fleece or wool for warmth, and an outer layer that's waterproof and windproof. Don't waste time deciding what matches. Grab that heavy-duty hoodie, thermal underwear, or even your ski gear if temperatures are dropping. Footwear is critical. Forget sandals or casual sneakers. You need waterproof boots or shoes with ankle support, especially if you're walking through debris, mud, and snow, or uneven ground. If your shoes get wet and you don't have a backup, you're on a fast track to blisters, infections, or frostbite. Toss in multiple pairs of thick socks. Dry feet are non-negotiable in a crisis. Gloves, hats, and scarves often get forgotten but can retain a surprising amount of body heat. Keep a hat that covers your ears and gloves that allow you to use your fingers while still protecting them. If you have a poncho, raincoat, or reflective safety vest, Those can be lifesavers too, literally helping you stay dry, visible, and protected from the elements. In summer or wildfire zones, sun hats, sunglasses, and long sleeves protect you from heat and sunburn. Even a simple bandana can be used as a dust mask, water filter, or bandage. In winter, pack a blanket or even a sleeping bag if there's time. Remember, your body is your first shelter. Without electricity or heating, your clothing becomes your climate control system. If you're not dressed for survival, everything else you carry may not matter. With just 15 minutes, the clothes you grab may be the only defense you have against nature, and you won't get a second chance to pick the right ones. Documents and cash are often the most overlooked essentials when prepping under pressure, but they can be vital to your survival and recovery. In just 15 minutes, you need to think beyond physical survival and plan for what comes after the disaster: identification, access to emergency funds, and proof of ownership or medical history. If the grid is down, ATMs don't work, credit cards are useless, and proving who you are or accessing help may depend on what's in your hands. First, grab a waterproof pouch or fireproof folder that contains your key document. That includes your ID, driver's license, passport, and social security card. If you're fleeing your home, you may need these to cross state lines, board public transportation, or get emergency shelter. If you're separated from family or need to prove custody, birth certificates or marriage licenses can save you time, stress, and legal trouble. Medical documents are also essential. Include copies of prescriptions, allergy lists, vaccination records, and any chronic conditions that could impact treatment. If you have children, pets, or elderly family members, their medical information is just as critical. During chaos, hospitals might be overloaded or disconnected. Clear records can help first responders or medics make the right decisions quickly. Now let's talk money. Digital payments could be down for days or weeks, and most stores or gas stations won't accept cards if the power's out. Have a stash of small bills, $1 and $5, $10, and some quarters for vending machines, tolls, or laundromat. Don't carry only $100 bills. No one will be able to break them during a crisis. This cash can buy food, fuel, or even information when you need it most. Finally, consider a USB drive with encrypted versions of all the above documents plus backup contact lists and maps. Store it in your go bag alongside your documents and cash. This single step can preserve your identity, unlock access to aid, and help rebuild your life after the worst has. In those final frantic moments, don't just grab what helps you survive the day. Grab what helps you survive the aftermath. Your future may depend on what fits in a single pouch. When you're racing against the clock and you only have 15 minutes to prepare, communication tools become an absolute lifeline. Most people think first of food, water, and maybe a flashlight, but if you're cut off from loved ones, emergency services, or real-time information, you're flying blind in a storm. Without communication, panic spreads faster than the disaster itself, and misinformation can lead you straight into danger. That's why having reliable tools to stay connected is one of the smartest grabs you can make in a rush. Start with a fully charged cell phone, and just as important, grab a backup power source. A charged power bank or solar charger is gold when the grid is down and outlets are useless. If possible, throw in a car charger too. In a blackout or evacuation, your vehicle might be your only power source for days. Having extra battery life means staying connected longer, especially when cell towers are overwhelmed or limited. Next, grab a hand crank or battery-powered emergency radio. These radios don't rely on the internet or mobile towers. They pick up NOAA weather alerts, government broadcasts, and local emergency updates, crucial when you need to know where to go or what areas to avoid. Many of these radios even come with USB ports to charge your devices or built-in flashlights, making them multi-purpose tools that take up minimal space. If you live in a rural area or anticipate no signal, grab walkie-talkies or a two-way radio set. These are especially useful if you're bugging out with a group or need to coordinate with family nearby. Choose models with at least a several-mile range, and don't forget extra batteries or rechargeable options. Even a whistle or signal mirror can be life-saving in the right scenario, especially if you're injured, trapped, or need to be found by rescue. Finally, don't forget analog communication. A small notepad and waterproof pen can help you leave messages, document critical events, or exchange information with strangers when electronics fail. Communication isn't just about calling for help. It's about staying informed, staying calm, and staying connected when the world goes silent. In those final moments, grab the tools that keep your voice and your hope alive. In a do-or-die 15-minute window, one of the most overlooked yet absolutely critical things to grab is important documents and emergency cash. In a crisis, when systems crash and banks are inaccessible, having these in hand can mean the difference between moving forward or being trapped by red tape and dead ends. Let's start with documents. In today's world, nearly everything is digital until the power goes out or systems are destroyed. That's when paper copies save lives. Your ID, passport, insurance policies, medical records, prescription lists, home deed or lease, and even birth certificates become tools for survival. Emergency shelters may require identification. If you're trying to cross state lines, check into a hotel, or deal with authorities, you'll need proof of who you are and where you're from. Keep a folder, preferably waterproof and fire-resistant, ready to grab with all these critical documents in one place. Make sure you also include copies of any legal papers like custody agreements, power of attorney, and even pet vaccination records. Next, cash. When the grid is down, ATMs don't work. Card readers fail. Stores may be open, but only accepting exact change. In that scenario, cash becomes king. Keep small denominations, $1, $5, and $10, so you can buy food, fuel, or supplies without relying on digital transactions. Stash at least a few $100s if possible. Even $100 in small bills can go a long way in the first 48 hours of a disaster. Think beyond survival. These items help you navigate the crisis. Need to rent a room? You'll need ID and cash. Stopped at a roadblock? You'll need papers. Injured or separated from family? Your documents can tell your story when you can't speak for yourself. Some preppers even scan and encrypt digital copies of these documents onto a USB flash drive or SD card as a backup, so grab that too if you have time. Tuck it in a waterproof case along with your other essentials. In the chaos of a disaster, your ability to prove your identity, access services, and buy necessities could vanish without warning. 15 minutes isn't long, but it's enough time to grab the paper and cash that can open doors and save lives when everything else is locked down.